It took all the years to the northwest, but not Wallowa. At last, honed down by the old torment and time, the people came. But on a reservation in Washington, Joseph sits, can stir thence only by permit. They built me a house at Nespelem, after many had died by the stinking river, where death rose on the air of evening and bellies of dead fish float, bloated white in moonlight. In that stinking land we left our last dead. Did at last they dream of our mountains? But mothers remember the names left there, still sacred and stink, and children remember the names that there sleep. The old who there sleep, sleep on the sweetest of pillows, the knowledge of what it is to be brave in your time. Their eyes fix on us as they lie in their darkness. They built me a house, me, a chief, who had lifted the death tube, Winchester or Sharps, and peered at the blue spot the sight leveled to in nameless election. I slow squeezed trigger. The blue spot was still. For me, a chief, as though I were one of the white half-men who scratch in the ground. And at evening, slop hogs, for me, who had lain on the prairie in starlight and heard the coyote wail of the far scout. No foot of mine ever crossed that door sill. I pitched my teepee on earth. I lay there. At evening I stared at my camp coals and wondered if, snared in my error and weakness, I had managed at least some pinch of rightness. I prayed that my Father, whose eyes see all and judge, might find some worth in an act of mine, however slight. I sit, coals simmering, a dying animal humped with no motion under darkness of skies that reach out forever, while forever stars spin what patterns the great Spirit's heart defines. I, I only a dot in the dimness, think of my Father and yearn only that he can think of me a man, worthy the work and dark of his loins. But what is a man? An autumn-tossed aspen, pony fart in the wind, the melting of snow slush. Yes, that is all. Unless we can learn to live the Great Spirit's meaning, as the old and wise grope for it. And my heart swells when I remember that day at Snake Creek when Miles surprised us, and I, herding horses, no gun, ran, through bullet song and scream of the hit ones, back to my teepee. But before I touched, the slot had opened and my own wife's hand thrust forth the rifle, and only one word came: fight. Now all I remember is how her eyes gleam in dream darkness forever. At night, coals wink from the heart of years, but when he rises, the years fall away, like leaves from a great oak in autumn to show the indestructible structure. To a height uncommon to men, the head rises, in upward straightness, framed by braids fading, the face like bronze, hardened back from the mold, nose thrusting, the thrust of jawbone, the downward decisive will thrust of lips where they join on each cheek side. If you gaze at him, eyes you gaze into will seem but to show the mirror of distance between you, behind you, far, and the mirror of time that brings you both here, and will in time part you forever. Frozen, you stand in that moment of final assessment. He is famous now. Great men have come to shake his hand in his poverty. Generals who chased him 10-1 with their fancy equipment, Gatling guns, artillery. Histories name him a genius. And even Sherman, who had never fought him, but gave more death than ever his subordinate generals. Yes, slime green waters of Leavenworth. Sherman wrote, "The Indians throughout displayed a courage and skill that elicited universal praise. They abstained from scalping, let captive women go free, and did not commit indiscriminate murders of peaceful families. They fought with almost scientific skill." Peace and love, one love. Can we all get along and share the beautiful earth? Yes, yes.